love music. I love music. And we're going to share one of the greats, Celia Cruz. Paulie here on the Latino Slant. Welcome back. Your leading source in Latino entertainment, music, movies, pop culture, and more. I hope everyone is doing. Make sure you are subscribed. A lot of you still aren't. Hard to believe, right? In this video, I'm going to we are going to watch a YouTube originals on Celia Cruz, and I have to tell you, it's really well done. Just she's the queen of salsa. She has been for many decades, and left us, I believe, in the early 2000s. But her music lives on. So yeah, that's really all I want to do. And I want to thank Mexican Iron Man for delivering this to us. So let's get right to it. Because what this does, it's an animated history of her and her music.
Always kept a positive attitude. That's from Caliuchis.
Who knows about keeping it positive? She was living in her car when she wrote the song that launched her career. That's a big bounce back, so giving props to Sunny Celia makes sense.
Yeah, the Queen of Salsa's story is all about getting back on your feet and smiling while you do it. There's a revolution in it.
All right, let's go to Cuba. Celia Cruz was born in
1925 in Havana, Cuba. Celia Cruz was
25 in Santos Suarez in Havana, Cuba. Her dad wants her to be a teacher, but that wasn't going to happen.
Celia was born singing.
Her cousin convinces her to enter her first singing competition at 15.
That was how they did it in Cuba. Radio stations had big competitions looking for the next big star.
Cuban popular music at the time is called son, the sound of African rhythm.
Okay, it's not called son, it's called son. Son.
Singing.
Siento la nostalgia de volver a ti, mas el destino manda y
Nostalgia
no puede ser.
habanera.
Mi Habana, mi tierra querida, cuando yo te volveré.
Nice. So it goes on, and it talks about her joining a group in the 50s and 60s. And then in the early 60s, she's exiled. She's denied to come back into Cuba, in her homeland. And she eventually sings the song Quimbara, which is a lot of her stuff is very patriotic and very paying homage to her homeland of Cuba. Just sensational. So let's jump to that a little bit.
2 years earlier in Celia,
Even for her island, Cuban artists like
setting dance floors across the world. Here a new style with a whole new
This
dance.
is really
the
cool.
mambo, the cha-cha-cha.
And who better to say,
Bienvenido a Nueva York.
than the king of drums, Tito Puente. Tito was born in New York to Puerto Rican parents, but he's so good at mixing Afro-Cuban rhythms with jazz that people just assume he's Cuban.
So she's in New York. She's got the band. Now she goes solo with Tito Puente. 60s, go into the 70s, and the Fania All-Stars, led by Johnny Pacheco, God rest in peace, Johnny Pacheco. They get together and create one of the baddest ass songs.
Doesn't give
guys.
up. She teams up with Johnny Pacheco, a young Dominican musician.
And gets right back on her feet, again. Pacheco's label, Fania Records, is home to the best Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, and Latin artists from New York, who all perform in a fantastic dancing machine, the Fania All-Stars.
Yeah.
Fania brought together all those different sounds and played them together under one banner, salsa music. They're so successful that in 1974, Celia and the All-Stars fly to Zaire to perform at a festival alongside
The fight of the century, the rumble in the jungle,
Rumble
the
in the
heavyweight
jungle.
championship between George
Muhammad
Foreman and
Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Kimbara, kumbara, kumba, kimbamba, kimbara, kumbara, kumba, kimbamba. Kimbara, kumbara, kumba, kimbamba, kimbara, kumbara, kumba, kimbamba. Hey mama, hey mama,
Nice.
hey mama, hey mama.
Nice. Beautiful.
In Zaire, Celia celebrates a reunion between Africa and the people who left or were taken.
She sings a new song, Kimbara, and is hailed as the queen of salsa. Her influence impacts generations of artists, all the way up to
Kaliush.
Okay, so there's a big jump that they do. And I get it. You only got a few minutes, but this was in the 70s here. And I wanted to stop it here and give you my little Paulie slant when I was around 10. My mother started taking us every Cinco de Mayo to the free Cinco de Mayo Salsa Festival at UCLA, the Janus Steps. At the bottom of the Janus Steps, huge courtyard. Tito Puente, Celia Cruz, Willie Colon, Hector Lavoe all came and played for free. I mean, it was amazing. And I was right there. I still remember seeing their faces perform because we was just basically, it was all one level. It was just a jam. Pretty amazing, pretty amazing. And I remember every year it getting bigger and bigger. We went probably like 3-4 years in a row, and my mom became a real salsera.
Jeez, which makes sense.
despite big ups and way downs.
So there, like I said, Hector Lavoe, Tito Puente, Ray
Celia
Barreto,
kept singing
Willie Colon. Then they jump, like I said, 80s,
and kept
90s.
smiling. She couldn't go
Um,
home,
they're now here's a part right here where they go from Mark Anthony Juana's Ivy Queen. In the 90s is when she was her most popular. She did a kind of like a reworking of the song Guantanamera with Wyclef Jean. Guantanamera, one of the greatest, homages to Cuba. She released in 98 a probably my favorite Celia Cruz song, La Vida es un Carnaval. Huge hit. A lot of these hits, La Negra Tumbao, are played at parties to this day. We play them if we're having a dance party, we're playing these Celia Cruz songs. La Vida es un Carnaval is still played today, and it was for me even more immortalized in the 2000 Mexican movie called Amores Perros. It was featured prominently in the film, and it's on the soundtrack. And it is a just a wonderful song. She was winning awards during that time, and then around 2001, she started having health problems, and she was gone. 2003. Interesting thing that I did not know was that one time, she had visited Guantanamo Bay because they never allowed her back in Cuba. She took some of the Cuban dirt, and she was entombed in it. Um, there was when she had passed away, it was her wishes that she would be shown in Cuba and then buried in the States. So yeah, my hats off to YouTube Originals. I gotta say, this is a beautiful kind of intro to Celia Cruz. There's a lot more, guys. What I suggest is keep it simple. Get her 1998 album that features La Vida es un Carnaval and take it from there. She's featured in some movies as well in the 90s. I think the 90s were her heyday as far as really a whole new generation checking out this woman's music, because at the time that she was an elderly woman but still rocking. Celia Cruz, everybody, the queen of salsa.